Hey everyone, it's Justin, Voices for Voices. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. Over 350, just incredible to be where we're at this time. We thank you for your love and support. Thank you for watching, listening, whether you're here in the United States or across the world. We want to give I guess the two big updates. One is because of you, our viewers, our listeners, October 2025, so the month that we are in right at this time, we have uh, dwarfed, which in the sense that I'm giving is we have surpassed by a lot, just about doubled the viewership, the listenership of our Voices for Voices TV show and podcast, which is incredible because it just is. And so when we say that, thank you, we really mean it. And it is really because of you why we continue to do what we do. We have uh, everybody's health, well-being, and mind. We do cover hard stories, hard events, hard experiences, and that's something that separates us. One of the big separators from us and other shows. Some shows they don't want to talk about it. They want to dance around the topics, but that's not something we do. And that's not why God has left me here on earth and gotten me through so many tumultuous times. And so we're here thanks to you. And so that was kind of big announcement number one. Actually, there's three announcements. So that's the big announcement. Number one is the October 2025 month is the biggest month on record, and we still have a day or so left of the month of October. Number two is if you haven't, go ahead and check out episode 354. And we want you to check out all the episodes, but in particular, episode 354, because in episode 353, we had a technical glitch that occurred when we were trying to take the files from when we do the show from Zoom into a format that's easy to upload to our aggregator sites, and that just didn't work. And so we were very very sorry that didn't work. And so in episode 353. We had Olympian figure skater Nicole Bobek. She's been through a lot, very transparent. You can catch that audio. Nothing, uh, there were no snafus there from the file. So we can get the podcast from the audio side. It's just the video side that unfortunately we're um, oh, it just kind of kind of irks me a little bit, if you can't tell. So what we did is we did episode 354, and what we did there was we wanted to reiterate some of what we discussed with Nicole in episode 353, and we did do screen sharing in episode 353 to show you how you can locate and find Nicole's book on Amazon.com. You can find the Kindle version. You can find the paperback version. Nicole mentioned that there's been a demand for the audio version, and so that is to come. She didn't have a date when that was going to be and then that will be available. But keep your eye out for that. And then we also went over to the Barnes and Noble site where you can also find her book, but you can find it in that hardback version. And so we pulled those up on the screen and did a share screen in episode 354, which is the episode preceding this episode number 355. Uh, so it's a lot of words, but we want you to check out all of our episodes because there's something to be learned, inspired about in all of the episodes that we put together for you. Uh, so that brings us to the I guess the third area of as far as announcements goes, and that is not only is October 2025 the month October and then the year 2025 the largest single month by far, viewers and listeners, no matter how you watch or no matter how you listen. And these are the public analytics that we see. We know there's so many more of you out there that are watching and listening, and we thank you. And we ask again, if you can smash that subscribe button, if you can give us a big thumbs up, like, follow, share, comment, all those things help us get closer to our goal of helping at least 3 billion people over the course of my lifetime and beyond. Uh, it's uh, it's just incredible where we're at. And so all that kind of leading into new countries, where you uh, and other viewers and other listeners are now catching Voices for Voices TV show and podcast from. So you hear me talk about, that we're global. We are based in North America and Northeast Ohio, but we are not just a local organization, while again being founded and having our world headquarters in Northeast Ohio. Our work, our show spans the globe, and it's because of great people like yourself and others that that come watch, come listen for years, and we're at the point with being the again the biggest uh, analytic download, watching, listening to our shows overall. So all of our shows combined, and I wanted to just share kind of some of these new countries that you are tuning in from. So we give a big thank you. We do have uh, we do have other messaging that has given thank you to these new countries where you're watching and listening from. We have to continue that. We want to touch every corner of the world, every country, province, territory, wherever you're at. We want to be a part of uh, helping you, helping others, inspiring you, inspiring others. Maybe laugh again when you check out me trying to sing a Justin Bieber or Imagine Dragons song. It's all about helping people, because that's what makes me feel good, what makes our organization a viable organization, and why we think that we have achieved this accomplishment here in the month of October 2025. So we thank all countries, all territories, all provinces, state, city, township, county, however we're together, we're all one human race. But we want to give an extra shout out to the following countries. And so there's quite a few. So stay with me here. So this is in no particular order. It's just the way when I downloaded the analytics, how they were downloaded. So this doesn't mean if uh, you're you're at the bottom any less important than if you're at the top, and so it's no particular order. So we're gonna start. Okay, here we go. So thank you to new countries checking in, being a part of Voices for Voices. So we have Colombia, South Korea, Brazil, China, Bangladesh, India, Israel, UAE, which is the United Arab Emirates, Japan, Malaysia, France, Russia, a Russian Federation, Ireland, Kyrgyzstan, Sweden, New Zealand, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, Finland, Norway, Nigeria, Tanzania, Netherlands, Italy, Spain, Oman, Cyprus, Turkey, and Uruguay. So we want just to give a round of applause. Thank you for joining us. And we are just so grateful to have you with us. And we welcome you. You're welcome at any and all of our any of our shows, any events that we have in the future. We want to give you and give thanks first off for us. Everybody has a higher authority, and so for me, I just want to give thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and to your higher authorities, who you look up to. Uh, Again, this isn't a match about one thing or another, and one religion being better than another. We're just giving our opinions on that. The key is the information that we're sharing. We're sharing it on behalf of the human race, as a human being, as a person that is being reminded kind of daily that we have a short amount of time on Earth, and uh, I've come to the realization also that I want to spend as much time as I can helping, or what I view as helping, uh, which again, with this being the best month o overall in the whole life of Voices for Voices and the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast, it proves that out, that there is quite a huge demand for our show, and that's why we do it. Otherwise, we would just be talking to a camera, a screen, and we would just be doing that. But that's not the case. That we know that you beautiful people, each and every one of you, whether you spent 1 second, millisecond, or you spent time watching, listening, combination of all our episodes. We want to thank each and every one of you. We understand how busy, how fast-paced life is, and so many things to do. The to-do lists are just growing and growing because we're you know, getting more efficient. And so that means that, oh, well, instead of doing these three things, I can do five in the same amount of time because I'm more efficient. Uh, but what does that mean for us, for our minds, our bodies, our schools, our souls, our spirits, and it really it just comes down to what makes us comfortable as an individual. And we all make mistakes. I make mistakes. I make so many. And I think that's the thing that I've come to grips with. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but to realize that I'm not perfect, nobody's perfect. Uh, Once we get past that, at least for me, it makes things just a teeny bit easier because then that takes a burden of some size off of my shoulders, of your shoulders, when we have that understanding that we can't do this alone, that we're only human. We've talked about, the Industrial Revolution and, that quest for efficiency, 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 Six Sigma, all these programs to, again, do more for less, to make more for less, to sell for a higher amount than the cost of whatever that thing or those things, those widgets, those pianos, those guitars, those shirts, uh, whatever those are. Uh, and it takes a lot of courage. And I think where I've been finding kind of a, a tougher time is, at least as of late, it's probably was always there, but courage. It's it's really courageous for all of us to do what we do. We all like different music, different hobbies. We like to spend our time where we're unwinding, maybe a little bit differently, maybe a little bit the same, maybe a little bit different, but overall, we're unique individuals. And it takes courage day in and day out to, especially as somebody that has depression. And yeah, while I'm managing it, that doesn't mean I'm doing the best managing of it or the greatest job manage of it. That's not what it means. It just means I'm managing it, trying to. And it takes courage for everybody, each and every one of you and I, uh, people we know, loved ones, significant others, coaches, pastors, friends. We're all going through life in some similar ways and some dissimilar ways, which just means that, again, we're unique. So we have some things that we have in common, and we have some things that we 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 don't. And that's what makes us human, the uniqueness. And I just repeated that. So again, that's on me for that. But being courageous, waking up each and every morning, something as small as that. Uh, Now, whether we want to get out of bed and get started with the day, that's a little bit different. Uh, so for each day that we wake up, it's just like being grateful because we don't know when our last minute, second, hour, month, year, decade, we don't know how much longer we have on Earth. I think that's what's really lit a fire under me and Voices for Voices is really coming to that realization. It's one thing to say it and like, okay, yeah, Justin's saying this, uh, but he's in his 40s, so he's hypothetically hypothetically has more time to live. If we look at kind of the average life expectancy, but then when we look at some people that they don't wake up in the next morning, they could be younger or just a little bit older. And it's when those things happen, it really starts to kind of project and kind of blow our minds a little bit of whether you're 19, 29, 39, 43, like I am, I'm going to be 44 and actually just a matter of weeks, be 44 with my birth year in 1981. And I I look back on kind of ups and the downs of life overall. And for me, I can't speak about others. I'm talking about me. And when I do that, I I come across a lot of scary times. For me, a lot of scary situations that I put myself into. Um, and for me, obviously not when I was, infant and toddler and that, but kind of in those, teenage years on up until 2017, I was putting a lot of my higher authority power towards alcohol. And yeah, there were other substances that were in there from time to time, but predominantly alcohol was the main culprit that uh, I I don't say I didn't have. So in certain vehicles, you can have a manual transmission or you can have an automatic transmission. And I didn't really have, maybe that's not how I wanted to put that together, but I didn't have any kind of middle gears when it came to alcohol. It was either if I'm going to drink, I'm going to get hammered, drunk, whatever the word is, or I wasn't going to drink. I, for whatever reason, I just didn't have a downshift of like, oh, well, what do you mean? Can you just have one or two drinks? And oh, sure, I could. And sometimes that's how it started. Oh, I'm just gonna have a couple, watch a ball game or whatever. And then those turned into, three and four and five, and then shots, and then uh, and then the binge drinking and those. And I put myself in some very, very scary, some very difficult situations. And again, it's a miracle I'm alive. And that's just one scary instance. And actually, it wasn't just one instance. It was many, 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 many instances. And and so when I think back on that, it was a very, very hard time for me, because I tried to numb everything, my insecurities, any type of problem. Is like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go get drunk and go from there. And that was no way to handle things. And so now going on uh 8 years of being sober in November, kind of the middle of November here in 2025. It is, er, I'm saying I'm learning to live again. I'm learning to live as the real me, where I'm not using alcohol or other illicit substances, drugs on on my life. And I think that's been one of the hardest things is it's still hard today, like the days, the more recent days. But those early days in 2017 when I had to basically make a kind of a life or death decision. Like, well, if I want to continue surviving, I may need medication. I don't know. I really don't want to go to therapy because I can handle everything. I can come up with solutions, with my good friend Google, and I don't need any help. I can do it all myself. And so when I did go and make those series of decisions, saying, okay, well, if I want to continue living for any length of time, a day, a year, a month, 6 months, what have you, then I'm gonna have to make huge drastic changes. And the biggest of those changes was in relation to alcohol and uh, not being able to drink ever again. I mean, it's not that I'm physically unable to purchase alcohol, that I'm not physically able to open a particular alcohol beverage or mixed drink or what have you. Not that I'm unable to. I'm at the point now, I don't want to. I have so much, but I feel, and this is the other part is, we've seen these commercials with people that, they're holding these signs up in front of their face, and it could be, a smiley face, and then they move that sign, that face, and a dark face of, like, sadness, um or the opposite, where it's the smiley face on the outside, and then on the inside, as like you're holding the smiley face, or the smiley face is kind of, I guess, behind you. And maybe I'm just confusing everybody, but I think you get what I'm getting at. And, and so that's not really lining up every single time, every single situation I'm in. You've heard me and saw me talk about an employer, at least on one occasion, where that came to be. Well, you don't sound excited, you don't look excited, so therefore you're not excited. And a lot of people will say that now about Voices for Voices on our shows, that, well, you don't look happy, you don't look like you're having a good time, you're always so down, or you're talking about these hard subjects. Uh, and so, we need to find something that, makes you feel good. And I said, this makes me feel good. This makes me happy to be able to come and have this honor to be able to share, whether you're watching or listening, no matter how you're doing that, smart device, whatever platform. And I jump around from, different platforms, Spotify sometimes it's Amazon Music, sometimes it's it is YouTube, sometimes it's Rumble. But this whole thing of the expectation that us as human beings that we're supposed to, again, what you see on the outside is what you see on the inside, or what it should be. And I brought this up many times before, but we look at, physical health. If you break an arm or you have a bruise, you can look at it and you can see it heal over time. And if need surgery or whatever the healing remedy and recommendations from the doctors are, uh, you can kind of see that, like, oh, that looks like that they're in pain, or oh, they look like they're having a blast. And and so when I was numbing myself with alcohol, I was looking like I was having a blast because it was like I'm numbing the pain uh, of basically living. And now that's not the case. I'm not numbing my mind for anything, uh, es- especially like living. And so I can assure you we would not have over 353, 354 episodes and keeping that momentum up and just knocking episodes out left and right and having some solo episodes, having some guests on. Uh, if I wasn't having fun, if I didn't like what we're doing, I wouldn't be doing it. And and so it's hard to say that. It's hard for sometimes people to hear that too. That well, he says he's having fun, he says he's excited, but look at him. He's got that face that like he's just so upset. Sometimes, a lot of times, I'm upset at myself if something doesn't go how I planned it. For instance, episode 353, the file that is always, I'll say always, but as long as I can remember, the file from Zoom has transferred into whatever form it needed to be in. So we could put that out on Rumble and YouTube and on TV and all that, all those great things. And I'm pretty upset about that. But I also am trying to be level-minded, level-headed that stuff happens. I can't do anything about it. So what did I do? We put out episode 354 and bam, we weren't able to see side by side Nicole Bobek and myself. Um, but we were able to make good on being able to show you, if you were watching, even if it was you did listen to episode 353, that you were able to go, oh, that's right. This is Nicole Bobek's. This is her book called The Wild One. Um, with her it being her memoir and her ups and her downs, and it was just a raw story of her life, and it was just a great conversation, and just felt terrible for not being able to have that, that TV, that video version for you all. So that's what we do. So I didn't have control over the file for episode 353. That was a technical thing, and I ran out of answers to try to fix that. But what I could do is what I did, and we did episode 354. So we're human. I was in the car earlier and the one Mariah Carey song, uh, Hero, and it talks about, the hero lies inside us as individuals. And so it doesn't mean we have to have, or that we have superpowers or any of that. It just means that we don't always have to look outside and look for validation from others. And it's, yeah, we call kind of that walking the line between, confidence and narcissism for me. And so it's a hard line to kind of try to try to do the best we can. Uh, and I know with me, I look for a lot of external validation of things that I'm doing, things that the organization's doing, planning, things that are to come, who, what, where, when, why, how. There's so many different things, and it's hard to, wrap our minds around that. But for whatever reason, I've kind of caught myself in that space where I'm always, I say always, I spend a lot of time in this space of judging myself against others. Like, oh, look at them. They're living their best life, or like they're having so much fun. Again, to those faces, it looks like they're just having a blast. And then I think to myself, I'm like, and then here I am. And so what that Mariah Carey song was bringing a little bit more crystal clear is I am having fun. I am excited. I'm spending this time together that we have by talking about my life, my experiences, our guests' lives, their experiences, things that they're sharing, things that I'm sharing, all for the sake of helping. Again, if we can just help at least one person step away from that ledge, then to know that we help save one person is it, it's just an incredible feeling to have that. And so those are the things, the feedback that you give us, the good feedback, obviously is easier to digest than that. But when we do, we're able to feel more and more validated. And so that's kind of looking outward and say, oh, did I say something? Did I stutter? Maybe. I'm human. Did I say the same thing twice? Maybe. I'm human. Uh, and just to be okay with it and not to beat myself up so hard about it. Uh, to again just realize that I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect on earth. Uh, and spend the time that we have on earth doing what we like, we love, we're happy to do, regardless of what our face looks like, what our mannerisms look like. Clearly, it's easier when the mannerisms and the looks and uh, match up with what the feelings are. But I know with me, as much as I try, I I I won't say I can't. It's just it's very hard to do that. Uh, and I wish it was easier. I wish it was easier for me to do. That my face would reflect how I'm truly feeling. Again, some of that is times it can just be frustration with myself of like, oh, I forgot that. I forgot to pick up that at the store, which was something recently. I went to the store, somehow slipped my mind, and there was something that I didn't pick up. So I had to run to the store and pick that up. And so that was just kind of that was whatever the look on my face was. It was more just frustration, like, oh my gosh, Justin, how can how did you miss that and not pick that particular item up? Things happen, and so to everybody that's watching, listening, again, huge thank you truly for sticking with us. Is very much appreciated, regardless of how my face looks. If it looks like it's super excited or looks like it's super upset, just know that it brings me nothing but happiness and joy to do this, to be able to have the opportunity to have you tune in and to have, again, the month of October in the year 2025 to be the basically the pinnacle year or pinnacle month across the entirety of Voices for Voices as it relates to our show. And this is just with analytics that we can see. We know it's right. We have security settings, privacy settings, and so there's numbers and analytics there that we're not picking up. So we know there's a lot more people watching and listening. And we also know about private servers for governments and intelligence and individuals that maybe that's you where you're not able to get Spectrum or one of these other providers, and um so you have to have your own server, and we know that there's a lot of analytics, a lot of numbers that we're missing there too. So the fact that the numbers that we're seeing are so high for, again, over all the months of our show, for this to be the highest, and we're seeing those numbers, to me, it tells me we're right on track of where we want to be. Doesn't mean that we're going to have a new high every single month as we go. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Maybe we do for a couple months, maybe we don't. Um, so that's why I want to just share how grateful and humbled we are as an organization and as a human being talking to another human being, yourself, others, and for the new countries that are joining us, individuals that maybe you may reside in, maybe visiting, maybe the ring light is getting my eyes after some time. It just makes my eyes water. So no, I am happy, but I'm not crying. Um, so thank you for being with us. Please, yeah, if you can smash that subscribe button. I don't mean to physically break the subscribe button, but if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Tell your friends and family, word of mouth. Uh, Communicate the Voices for Voices TV show and podcast. Because again, without you, we have no reason to do this show. And it becomes something that we don't have a reason to do. Because if you're not watching or listening, then we wouldn't have a reason to come in front of the camera or come through your earbuds. So thank you. Uh, and just remember, like that Mariah Carey song, that the hero lies in every single one of us. The hero lies in you, in you, in you, in you, and everybody watching and listening, past, present, future. And uh, I need to, I need to do the same and believe that there's a hero that lies in me, not meaning lying of not telling the truth, but meaning that the hero is within us. So thank you for joining us. We are just very grateful for this opportunity, and we look forward to coming to you with many more shows, many more guests, many more topics. And until next time, let's celebrate the voices of each other, whatever those voices look like. If it's artwork, if it's sign language, if it's a spoken word, if it's playing music, whatever that may be, uh, let's celebrate all the voices of all of us. And until next time, please be a voice for you or somebody in need. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.